Hey everyone, my name's Lavonne and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have landed on this video and opened it up and were interested in the title because it applies to you, I want to wish you a congratulations on this pregnancy, and I am so excited to begin to walk this journey with you as you get to your labor, your birth, and into your parenting journeys. Today, I'm gonna give you 3 things that you should be doing once you find out you're pregnant. But before I get into that, make sure you subscribe down below, give it a like, share it with a friend, and then let's get going. If you have just found out that you're pregnant, I am so excited for you. Pregnancy to me is like one of, if not the most beautiful thing that the human body does. And so you are about to embark on like the most amazing adventure, and I want to join you on it. So if you've just landed to this channel, this might be the first one that you find. I hope it's the first one that you find of my videos. I am here for you. There is a slew, like literally hundreds of videos to help you feel more confident, ready, prepared for your upcoming labor, your birth, and your parenting journeys. Now, we may not be close to labor. You might be close to labor, and if you are, keep watching just for the fun of it. You're probably already past this. But for those of you that are early on in your pregnancy, maybe you literally just peed on a stick and you are like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? I got you here. I'm gonna give you 3 really important things that you need to be doing, okay? So the number one thing that I want you to there's gonna have to be sort of like a little bit of a switch in you, is thinking about your health. And I think pregnancy is a beautiful opportunity where you're sort of forced to think about someone other than yourself. In fact, I was told a while ago that when I was like, I think I brought like Cheetos or like Cheez-Its to a meeting at the hospital, and one of my friends pulled me aside and she was like, Sarah, I'm worried about your nutrition. And I was like, I'm literally in survival mode. Thank you very much. I was a manager in the hospital at this point. And she was like, think about your nutrition if you were pregnant. And I was like, huh. Because if I was pregnant, I'm probably gonna wanna feed my growing fetus that's like a tiny little dot at this point for many of you, and provide them with nutrition that actually builds healthy structures. Maybe Cheetos or Cheez-Its is not the most nutritious thing in the world. And so this is your alert and sort of an opportunity that maybe you're a health nut and you're like, yes, I got this covered. But for those of you that maybe have some habits that are not the most healthy, like eating Cheetos for lunch, that it's time to just start to become more mindful and start making some better habits, okay? And so what does that mean? That means cutting out smoking if you're a smoker. If you do drugs, no more drugs. Your baby, not good for your baby's development. If you drink alcohol, we're cutting that out. And then also if you want to be extra, which I'm going to recommend that you are a little extra, is begin to consume more whole foods, less processed foods. Pay attention if you're on any medications, you're gonna need to speak to your provider about staying on those medications. Are they safe for pregnancy? And then on top of that, we're gonna think about what we put in our body. And one of the biggest recommendations, if you're not doing it already, and I will say if you're trying to get pregnant, this is a recommendation I have for you, even before you get pregnant, is to start your prenatal vitamins. So I have them here. I actually take these prenatal vitamins. These are from Ritual. There's lots of brands out there. I personally like Ritual because I know for me, I've taken multiple brands. I'm not pregnant. I'm not trying to get pregnant right now, but it is great nutrition for women of childbearing age. And so with that, the Ritual ones I do find are less nausea inducing. I know I was taking another one, and if I didn't have like a full meal, I was salivating at my desk, like breathing deeply, looking green colored because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. They're awful. And so that is typically somewhat of a complaint from prenatal vitamins. That's why I love Ritual so much. I will leave a link down below. You can find them there. But moral of the story is be taking a prenatal vitamin, okay? Start there. And then we're gonna go to number 2 and we're gonna loop back around, but you are going to talk to your provider about what other supplements they may recommend for you. They may draw some labs when you go see them and say, hey, you need to throw in some vitamin D or some magnesium or fill in the blank, whatever. Moral of the story is prenatal vitamin is a great place to start. The other thing I have out here, which is a great recommendation for myself all the time, is that you need to be drinking water, okay? And this is a great place to start early on in your pregnancy. Some of you may be really good at hydration. I've gotten much better, been very intentional about my water intake recently. But for those of you that don't normally drink a ton of water, that this is your slight prompt to like, let's work on that, right? And this is where like I always try to have a glass of water with me, and that hopefully it doesn't look this full all day. And then be sipping on your water, because especially as you get more pregnant, you may start having some premature contractions, some discomfort because of dehydration. You're more prone to that, and your body needs that fuel, that bulk to push blood to your baby, okay? It'll still push blood to your baby, no stress, but that water and that hydration is really gonna help you feel better, especially during the early days of your pregnancy, okay? So number one is think about your health, all right? Maybe cut out some of the habits that you've been doing that maybe are not the best for your pregnancy or aren't the best for your pregnancy. And then let's think about what we're putting into our body. Prenatal vitamins, lots of water, not overdoing it, but definitely staying hydrated. And then think about the nutrition that you're building this beautiful baby with. My tip number 2, which is so important, is to find or see your OBGYN. So an OBGYN or a midwife, okay? And they're either one is a specialty provider that can help you with your pregnancy, make sure you're safe, there's no complications happening, and then also can help deliver your baby, all right? So if you don't have an OBGYN, it's time to find one, okay? But let's assume that you have an OBGYN or a midwife, that you do wanna schedule an appointment with them, ideally before 10 weeks of pregnancy, okay? A lot of you maybe aren't finding out you're pregnant until week 4, 5, 6, maybe later potentially. And so the idea is we really want an early ultrasound. And so what that means is they take a little wand thingy-majiggy, they put it on your belly, and they look in your uterus, and they help determine your due date, because not only for them, everything depends as far as your pregnancy goes on your due date, right? We want to know how many weeks you are pregnant because we're expecting to see certain things along the way into the future. The other thing is, like, for planning, right? You want to know sort of for the future when you're anticipating maybe needing to take maternity leave, when you're anticipating going into labor and all of that, right? So that's helpful information, super helpful. And really, it is somewhat time sensitive to see your OBGYN, because the earlier the ultrasound, the more exact that they can get it. The bigger the baby gets inside of you, say you're 20 weeks, that you may actually be 22 weeks, or you could be 18 weeks, right? I'm sort of exaggerating to prove a point, but the moral of the story is get to see your OBGYN. Now, if you don't have an OBGYN or a midwife, it's time to find one, all right? And if you want that video, that's like definitely a whole nother video, make sure you let me know in the comment box down below, and I can add that video to the queue. And then my last tip for you may seem a little bit simple, but hear me out, because I'm all about these types of tips, because I want to take you from here to here. And this is a life lesson. And so my third tip is begin to listen to your body. Okay. And some of us may be really good at that. I know I have been on a personal journey of listening to my body and what that means. And like, oh, I'm tired right now. Maybe I nap. That's what it means, okay? Now, mind you, in early pregnancy, your sensations are gonna be different than later in pregnancy, right? Early on, you might be really nauseous, you might be extra fatigued, and that fatigue, let me tell you, is universal across the board, that most people feel like they can barely get moving, like they're dragging their feet. You may have certain feelings about being pregnant. That might feel really exciting to you. That might be really stressful for you. It might be a mixture of the two. Right? And so there's all these different sensations that you may be feeling in your body, whether they be physical or psychological, and that is okay. And part of the journey that I would love to bring you on as you watch my channel and you take my childbirth classes, or maybe we worked one-on-one together, is this idea of starting to learn to say, how do I feel? Oh, I feel so nauseous. And then to go, what do I need right now for this nausea? Like, no, I don't need a snack. Or like, I think I need to eat something because I haven't eaten anything all day, right? And so as you start to do that, what happens is you start to identify what your needs are. And that skill is one of, if not, I don't want to rate them, but like one of the top, let's say 5 skills to take into your labor and birth to help you have a better birth experience, okay? So if we start now, what we're doing is that later on when you're like, I have this weird sensation, oh my gosh, and I feel like I need to do this weird thing in labor, you do it and it actually helps your labor progress. Carrying you into parenting, right? If you're like, I don't know if I can cope with this, I'm not okay, that's gonna prompt you to get some help instead of just suffer through parenting, right? I want you thriving. And so as you begin to listen to your body, that also doesn't just mean listen, it means respond, right? If you are a partner and you are watching this, be extra sensitive to the birthing person in that time. And birthing people, I want you to also be sensitive to your partner if you have one, because they're also going through their own process of like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. Now I'm on a timeline into like a very big transition in my life that I don't know if I'm ready for, and everybody questions, and then they're spinning around and all the what ifs and all of that, okay? Be each other's support during this time. And as you do that, celebrate with those that you love. Celebrate as you tell people that you're pregnant and as you begin to embark on this journey through your body, physically, psychologically, and emotionally, spiritually, as you work your way into parenting and the finale of your birth, leading you into really the rest of your life. Thank you everyone for being with me here today. If you haven't been around or seen many of my videos, I want to be very clear that I am here for you. My dream for your pregnancy, for your labor, birth, parenting journeys is that you have a positive experience, right? That there is way too much trauma involved with whether it be pregnancy, birth, parent. I'm going to say that like a million times. It's kind of the same thing over and over again. And my job is to use education and support to help you have a better experience that leads you into feeling more bonded, having better mental health, sleeping better, all of that can lead into really a better future with your family. And so I am here for you. If you want more from me, I have childbirth classes, a VBAC class, coping with labor class, infant safety CPR, other things on my website, PDF downloads. I have different like things that we send you in the mail to help with your labor. And so really I envision myself hopefully coming alongside of you as you embark on this pregnancy journey, getting you until your labor and birth. Whatever you need, everything's in the description box down below. Make sure you comment on your symptoms. Let me know which one of these was most helpful, maybe anything else you would add for those other people that are recently pregnant and trying to figure it out in that first trimester of their pregnancy. Make sure you subscribe down below, and then until next time, don't forget to flex and flow, and I will see you soon. Bye.